It's Emanuel Welch, Speaker of the Illinois House. Every day that I have the opportunity to walk into our Capitol as the first Black speaker in our state's history, I feel tremendous gratitude for the generations of men and women whose work made that possible. Like John W. E. Thomas, who was born into slavery in Alabama, but became a legislator in Illinois. Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator. Carol Moseley Braun, the first Black woman elected to the United States Senate. And Barack Obama, our first Black president. The trails they blazed were made possible by countless people who worked in their own ways to advance freedom, justice, and equity, and through those efforts called on our country to be better and be truer to the ideals of our founding. It's that work, that struggle, and that sacrifice that we recognize on Juneteenth, and that's the work that House Democrats are continuing every day.
As we celebrate Juneteenth, we're reminded that freedom is also about dignity, understanding, and feeling safe in your community. For me, this issue is personal. As the father of a child on the autism spectrum, I think about the future a lot. Every Black parent has to have that awful conversation with their kids about what to do if they're stopped by the police. For young Black people on the autism spectrum, those interactions can be even more frightening. One day, my son may be driving, working, and living independently, but he may not communicate the way people expect during an interaction with law enforcement or a first responder. And that's something that keeps me up at night. That's why I've worked with The Answer Inc. and Deborah Vines on legislation that creates a voluntary tool to help first responders better understand when someone is autistic or has an intellectual disability.
When I was younger, like so many people, I faced challenges that taught me incredibly valuable lessons. These experiences stayed with me, especially as I began my journey in public service. I often wondered how people would perceive me and perceive my past. But along the way, I've met so many incredible people with their own stories, their own resilience, people who strive for rich, fulfilling lives that they absolutely deserve. And as state representative, I witness how past challenges can unfairly block opportunities, jobs, education, housing. This is not just. And that's where Clean Slate came in for me. It offers people a second chance at a life that they absolutely deserve.
So many of us don't know exactly where our families began or the specific cultures our ancestors held dear. That's why I am so proud to champion the Family Roots program. In 2024, we launched the Illinois Family Roots Pilot Program. I've partnered with Dr. Lakeisha David, an expert in anthropology right here at Urbana-Champaign, to help bridge these gaps. Through her African Kinship Reunion Project, we're combining cutting-edge genetic testing with social science to reunite families and restore our cultural heritage.
This year in Springfield, I voted to pass a compassionate budget that continues to fund and support one of our most critical resources, which happens to be safety net hospitals. Safety net hospitals like Insight right here in Bronzeville create jobs and deliver critical health care to every resident, regardless of their ability to pay. You may be interested to know that Insight's roots in this community truly run deep. As one of Chicago's oldest hospitals, which was founded in 1852, Insight has been building healthy communities through countless administrations, and it even survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871.
For generations, workers in Illinois have fought for the right to come together and speak with one voice. As a former CNA and a union organizer, I understand how important it is for people to have a meaningful pathway to be heard. That principle extends to rideshare drivers who use platforms like Uber and Lyft to provide an essential service and keep our communities moving. This legislation ensures that workers in the modern economy have a structured and transparent way to be heard. When workers have a voice, Illinois is stronger. Thank you.
Let's keep moving Illinois forward together.